things, I think, in offense and defense that just took away, especially some moments that we could have capitalized on that just didn't happen. You can't beat the number 9, 10 team in the country, have a first goal from the 2 and come away with 0 points. It just doesn't add up. Defensively, I think did some good things. Obviously, gave us some chances, but when they were on to run the football, we just couldn't get off the field. Able to monopolize the clock. I think our guys may have had one possession, offensive possession in the third quarter. I know we got a little bit one that bled into the fourth, but we've got to give our guys more chances. I think we came out of it pretty clean. I know Caleb Patterson had a head injury, but I think we came out pretty clean. I did like the way this schedule, regardless of what happened to the first 5 games, just the schedule in general. I've been doing this a while. To have 5 games bye week, 4 games bye week 3. I knew this was going to be a big week for us to get our legs back under us. I think it's going to be a really big week for us mentally. I stress all the time, you learn more in moments of adversity than you do in moments of success. So it's going to be important for us to, all of us, starting with me on down, to learn from the things that caused us to fail tonight and make sure that we grow. So can't just leave it here at Penn State. We got to take it with us on the plane and unfortunately own it and move forward this week. So with that, open up for questions. Yeah, I think we're a good football team. I like our demeanor. I like their work ethic. I like their edge. They're very disappointed as I had hoped they'd be. I think the part that really gets exciting for me is we did enough things today that cause the failures that we have. Then I just don't see any of them be things that we can't be correctable. Right? Got a little bit, especially in the second half, got sloppy with some pre-snap penalties that really took away. I mean, obviously convert that 4th down there at the end to have it taken away with a flinch. And again, some of these guys haven't been in this environment. I think that one was on Melvin, right? And for him, this is by far the biggest environment that he's played in, and he's done a lot of really good things. We're just going to continue to grow and make sure we grow forward. Yeah, just that. I think, and we say it all the time, good teams do 3 things. They run the ball, defend the run, and cover kicks. And obviously this will be a recipe that others will follow and see. And, they got a good running game. We knew coming in, I thought these were probably the best tandem of running backs. They did some good stuff with the quarterback in there. Did some things with some splits that obviously were things we saw in the Kansas game 2 years ago, and did enough things to keep you off balance. They did hit some critical when they were playing some zone, and they just sat down in the mesh routes. They were sitting down on the third mediums to match that up. We got to get better at it. So a lot of positives, but definitely some things that we got to address. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many sacks we gave up, but he was under pressure and duress quite a bit. Obviously, new coming into this game, that's kind of been their MO. Up front, we thought this would be a group that brought a lot of pressure. They brought some zeros and some 6-man pressures that obviously gave us, but we also got to get rid of the ball too. I think that's a very big point that we'll make sure that we'll take a look at it critically. Obviously, protection schemes and calls, that's on us as coaches, and then the functionality of getting rid of the ball, giving them answers if they do bring pressure. We got to get better at that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We came over. I believe they won the toss. They deferred. So we took the ball and we just said, whatever unit started it, we're going to, try to come out and go guns a-blazing. And I thought they did a really good job. I think that drive right before the end of the half that, to get it first and goal from the 2, that was a huge momentum swing right there to have a couple miscues, misfires to end up being, short on or wide left, I guess, on the field goal. That was extremely disappointing.
It has 2 different coordinators this season. I'm just curious, as faced last year, how different is this team compared to the team that you faced?
I think offensively they're totally different. There's no doubt in my mind. I got tremendous respect for Coach. He runs multiple personnel groupings. I think he plays to his players' strengths. I was talking before the game with James, and I just 44. I just love him. I said it to him last year. I just think he's a very one of the things that I took from the league is when a guy has a lot of position flex, which means he can do multiple things besides what he slotted into. I think the skill set of him just allows a lot of different things to happen, and he's. You can see now 4 games into it, the ability to mix those things up. Defensively, I would say, other than some end of game scenarios or end of half, that was kind of what we had thought, right? Especially that first drive going, they made some adjustments. They're very talented. Obviously, got players out there that are elite players at their position. That's why they're recruited the way they are to where they're at. So James does a really good job as always in putting their players in position. But the coordinators, and I would also minimize your special teams coordinator. You're a Penn State guy, right? Yeah. I mean, he's what he did at Vanderbilt and what he's done and executed. I thought that was in my preparation. I had a lot of respect for what he's done too. Yeah. Yeah, our plan had kind of been set as coaches. I might have tweaked it a little bit depending on what came out. I just think what I've learned in this profession is, the guys that are giving us high reps that have played really, pretty good football. Obviously tonight we want to be better, but we definitely have to take advantage of this bye week to let those guys get their legs back under. Pat Bryant, Zachary Franklin, really our starting offensive line. Luke, I think it's going to be important in this 4-week run to have fresh guys going into that week. So we'll back off them. Tomorrow we'll just really kind of have a day. It's a player's day off. We'll just have a little bit of recovery in the afternoon. I'll be on the road Sunday, Monday. We'll get some really good work on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Friday, they'll get some work with Tank. We'll kind of take Saturday to kind of get it. And then we'll jump Sunday into some early prep on Purdue, right? So just kind of use that as an extended week for us. We'll get Purdue in a little bit Wednesday and Thursday. But also I think the biggest thing we're going to have to do is correct the things that didn't go well tonight.
Bret, how do you evaluate the defense on sport game for as long as you did? You guys in the game.
Yeah, how do we evaluate who?
The defense.
Well, our defensive guys care. Our defensive coaches. I think the part that we're going to have to really look at is some of the stuff that they were doing to run the ball was very very unique. I don't know if you use that all the time. They were doing some tackle flexes. They were lined up as wide receivers, which we know they've done. I think what we have to do is recognize an ability to adjust during the course of the game. But I know offensively they present a lot of challenges. Defensively, plus too, seemed like we were letting the ball. Case in point, that last touchdown. You can't snap the ball and rush ahead for 4 yards and get a touchdown. I think we had a little bit of a moment there where we got to bow up a little bit. I appreciate the question. I don't know if I got a real good assessment right now for this last game. I think our guys, have bought into what Bart and Barry have been trying to do. I thought at times we ran the ball a little bit tonight. We got out of it. Felt like I think we were pressing a little bit to get the ball down the field. We could have probably worn them. There were some plays that just seemed like we were a break tackle away from here or there. So I think we got to finish our strain again. I'd like to have probably another 1 or 2 guys just to give us some rotation, some depth, and get that. But I do think Henry Boyer, even though we got him back, we didn't get him in the game plan really this week just because he was coming back. So I think to get him in 12, and then some of the big personnel grouping with B. Henderson and T.J. McMillan, I think there's some things there that we got to explore.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
We'll do players from here. Arkin, Miles Scott, and Dylan Rozier. They should be here any time. Arkin's already here. We'll
Put them up on front.
yeah, not formal, but we will sit him right here. You guys
You can come up.
You can come back. We'll bring somebody else in.